All right. Today, we are not focusing on how I look, the lighting, the background, or anything that I usually put a lot of emphasis on. I just did my morning yoga, which I recently started actually doing um, because I bought a book about basically a lot of people telling their story of how they got into yoga, how it basically changed their life and stuff. And there was one particular story that sticked with me, and it was this woman who tried everything. She had like debilitating pain, and she tried like walking, weight training, like all the exercises that would usually be recommended, and also various diets and whatnot, and nothing and no one could really help her. And one day she started going to a yoga class and she hated it. And I think she stopped doing yoga, or actually, I'm not sure. I think she stopped doing it. Or no, sorry. I think she hated it, but she kept going for whatever reason. Like she kept going to this class regularly, even though she hated it. And then she also started doing like hot yoga, which, for those of you who don't know, it's like a very hot room. It's like 40 degrees Celsius. I don't know in Fahrenheit. Um, you do yoga in a sauna basically, but it's only 40 degrees. So she did that and she fainted, but she was hooked. And basically, her life changed with only doing yoga. Like her pain went away, but it was more than that, obviously, like it is always. And I think I'm noticing that in me too. And it's weird because I haven't really been practicing asana very regularly. Um, but yeah, I'm doing this challenge with my friend right now. Hey, my friend. Um, where I want to make a video every week because I want to do YouTube, or at least doing I have wanted I have wanted to do YouTube for years now. And I I just thought, okay, I need inspiration, I need whatever. Basically, I needed something else to be ready for this, and I am not ready and I need something else. Um and yeah, so I wanted to challenge myself to do this every week now, to make one video every week. Not necessarily posting it, but I actually wanted to post it, but then I realized there is no point, because when I think about posting it, I'm just so nervous that nothing sticks. I just whatever. Um so anyways, while I was doing yoga today in the morning, and I didn't even do a lot. And that's the thing, I avoided yoga for the longest time, or doing asana basically, because yoga is more that just the poses, or the physical aspect of it. Um, but I always avoided it because I was like, um, I don't have the time. I don't have the. basically like my YouTube channel looking for any reason I couldn't do it, or yeah, why I couldn't do it or shouldn't do it now or whatever, why I can't, basically. And then I realized by starting to teach, I started teaching this month only. And by starting the teaching process, I realized that I am giving this philosophy to my students or to my group, that whatever they're bringing onto the mat is okay, and that they can adjust the poses however they want. And so then I was like, well, now there is no real reason for me to not do it. Um, and yeah, I don't know if it started like this year. I've had this feeling of 2024 being my year, and and I haven't had this feeling for maybe even ever. I don't think I have ever felt like this about a year. Um, Even in December, I went through a breakup, and it was not the usual breakup, it was just freeing. It was not, I mean, obviously breakups are hard, but I just felt free afterwards. And people like my closest friends and just everyone around me saw me light up, have more energy, be more bubbly, and that was something, I don't know what it was, but there was more energy coming out of me, and it didn't go away, really. Um but it was more like energy, not in the sense of, oh, I'm gonna work out 5 times every week now. I'm gonna work on my thesis for 6 hours a day. I'm gonna go work and then read 2 books. It's not like this productive energy, or it's really hard to talk about this because I feel like it's not something that you can grasp if you don't know what I mean, if you don't feel what I'm feeling, but I'm gonna try. Um, but basically, it's this feeling of peace that is continuous, and this feeling of connectedness, if that makes sense. Um, I talked about this with friends yesterday and the days before that, that I feel like I'm going through a very big transition right now. And I it's weird, but it's incredible because I didn't plan for this. I don't know. In the previous years, I have worked on myself so much and I have read so many books. I have basically never stopped looking for an answer. I've never stopped looking for the new thing to try, um, to improve myself, to heal my trauma, to educate myself, to just further myself, advance myself. And now, for the first time ever, maybe, I feel like I have to do nothing. And I know that sounds like it sounds delusional when I express it, like when I speak it out loud. It sounds delusional, or like um an excuse to be lazy. Um but yeah, it's just weird because I can feel my demons talking to me, and I can stop them mid sentence and just say, no, no. And not with like this terror or like fear of missing something. Like, because in the previous years, I was always like, oh my God, I have so many blind spots. I don't know. And I was open for everything. I was open for everything and everyone who would tell me, like, hey, I think you're missing this. And now I'm just like, if something pops up, I'm dealing with it. And then after that, I come back to this state of just being. And it's weird because there's a lot of uncertainty about this being state that's okay. So I'm just realizing how this sounds. This sounds like super woo woo and like wow, I have a spiritual experience or whatever. Maybe people think I'm going insane. I don't know. I've considered it as well if I'm going insane. I just want to say it is such an intense state of mind to just exist with everything that's going on in your life and being okay with it, and not like, obviously I still have the impulse to change everything, to change my diet, change my routine, change my lifestyle, change the exercise I'm doing, and you know, just classic me for those of you who know me. And now um I'm realizing that there's no point. There's no point. And I'm realizing that the way I approached productivity and diet and exercise and all of that wasn't sustainable because it was coming from a place of a place of furthering myself from my innermost being and not getting closer to it. And the crazy thing about that is that I don't even feel like I have to do anything anymore to reach my goals because I am just so secure and sure about reaching them. Um and that's, you know, it's just weird. Everything is weird right now. I feel super incredible and super shitty at the same time, but it is peaceful. And I think I have experienced this once during COVID when I started meditating every day. There was a short period of time where I felt just serene with everything that was going on. I felt I felt okay with everything that I was feeling. If I was having a bad day, it was okay. I wasn't trying to get rid of it or I wasn't fighting back. And I guess maybe that's it. Um, but yeah, I am not doing anything to reach the state right now, and that's what's weird. Because usually I would be like, ooh, I have to stick to this routine, I have to be disciplined, I have to do this and stick to it. No, right now, I am just existing, doing what I'm doing, and I am really, really connected with myself and secure in myself for the first time ever in my life. like in this to this extent, because I mentioned that this state affected my productivity, my diet, my exercise, but also I feel like this in relationships. Like every relationship um kind of or no, I should start this differently. I think I laid the groundwork for my relationships in the past few years. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful right now because, um, yeah, it was really stressful during that time. Because I basically felt like I was never enough. Like I knew I didn't know enough, um, to sustain a good relationship. And that was about romantic relationships. With friendships, I always had more trust in myself. Um, and I am incredibly grateful for the friends in my life. I feel very, very humble and very just grateful. Actually, also kind of emotional um, about my friendships because I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, I don't know. I just feel like my friends are sent from God to let me experience love and not just like experience it by receiving love, but also oh my god, now I'm crying on camera. But also how much of a gift it is to give love. And that sounds so corny. It's so fucking corny what I'm saying right now, but it's true. I just feel so really just humble and grateful. Those are the two words that describe it the best. Because that's something I realized in the like literally past week that I have this I have this really big ego. And I always like made fun of it, and it was like this funny thing about me that I'm kind of arrogant, you know? And now I just feel so humble that even with my ego and everything, I was still that I still get to exist at the same time with my friends. I don't know why I'm crying. Oh my god. Wow. Uh, anyways, I wanted to touch on one last point, and that is um, romantic relationships or dating, because it was always like a great source of stress for me. It was always like something that I was really, really insecure about. And I just never felt safe or secure or like I am able to sustain a healthy relationship. Um, it was always like a great, big, fat insecurity of mine. And now I'm at a point where I just feel like I am shedding everything. I should probably stop recording. Hold on. I should clean my nose. It might not look like it, but I feel like these are tears of relief and joy and yeah, mostly that and gratefulness. Gratitude. I don't know. I always just felt like, oh my god, that's gonna be my forever problem. It's gonna be hard for me. It can never be easy. And now I feel like I'm at a point where I have agency. And maybe that is so normal for some people, and I am so happy for them if they get to grow up and just feel like they have agency in their romantic relationships. That's just beautiful. And for me, it wasn't like that. So now I feel so fucking grateful that now I'm at a point where I am able to just say no, to just say, you know what, I don't think this is gonna work, and just to leave it at that. To actually leave it at that. And, but also at the same time to, um, meet people or meet a person on a very human level. Because I was so, or what's was, I am still, I guess, but I was so heavily into feminism and this concept of like femininity and masculinity, and um, it helped me a great deal to understand what's going on. Like, it helped me to explain certain things. It just helped me make sense of all the things that I didn't understand. And now I feel ready to let go of that. I feel like I am able to let go of these concepts and to see them as what they are, and that is just concepts. Um Instead of like a rule book to live by. And I don't feel the need to guard myself in a way that makes it impossible to sustain a healthy relationship, which I did feel in my last relationship. Um, Never realizing that it might just be the relationship, or, yeah, not even the person, but just the relationship. Um, and for that, I felt so sorry for myself in the past month that I wasted my last year with that relationship. But yeah, I don't even feel that anymore. I don't feel the regret. I don't feel the. It's just so incredibly freeing to realize that there is a relationship out there, and I'm not even there yet. I am not even there yet. But I just feel so secure in myself that even if the dude I'm dating doesn't have the purest of intentions, or if it turns out to be weird or not work out or whatever, that it is still so okay with me that I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna open myself up. Even if this is not gonna be my husband, it's okay to open up to another human being, to make myself vulnerable, obviously in a slow way, but um yeah, that is so new for me, and so, like, I think you have now, by the end of this video, realized that I'm just shocked, grateful, happy, peaceful, but mostly just like confused, because this is not something that I even could aim for, because I didn't know that this is something that I can aim for, if that makes any sense. And so now I'm just like, whoa, this is what's happening, and I'm enjoying it. Um and yeah, it's weird that uncertainty suddenly isn't this big thing that's like looming over my head like a gray cloud, that's like um impacting everything and my mood and like making me anxious and stuff. I feel just so free with the uncertainty. And yeah, I don't know if this reaching this state like took me 4 years to reach, maybe. Um, but yeah, I am here now. I don't know if I will stay here. That's okay for me too. I just feel like I can take on anything right now. And maybe, maybe I should sit down and be humble. um, but I do feel very humble. I do feel very humble, but at the same time, I feel powerful in the most humble way possible. I don't know. I don't feel like this is coming from my ego, which is probably why I cried, because I realized that so many things came from my ego. And yeah, I feel like yoga played a huge part in this, unknowingly, really, because I wasn't practicing a lot of asanas. I was just existing. And now I feel like I can hear my inner voice more, or I am so connected with myself that I feel something, or something like, oh my god, yeah, it is not something to be explained with words, but I'm trying here. But I guess maybe it's like intuition, or for people who are spiritual or of faith. um I feel like I am connected to something higher, and it's talking to me, not in the way of like, ooh, I'm a prophet. That's not what I mean, but it's like telling me stuff like, hey, I don't think this is good for you. I don't think you should pursue this. Or, hey, maybe it's okay to do this or that. I don't know if it's intuition, if it's, a higher power, but yeah. And I think I'm gonna end it here because I've been talking for half an hour. But yeah, I think I'm gonna look back at this and be like, this dumbass. But that's okay. I enjoyed this. This was actually kind of a good experience. Thank you.